So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be catching this presentation. Last week was quite busy and not so busy. I had two events, almost three though. Yeah. The second one was a platform talk, discussion, rubbing of minds. I set up with my students. I had done that previously in when I was in Nigeria. It was basically a mud club. That's what I called it. I asked any students who were interested in joining the mud club, but unfortunately, I had to leave for about a year. And by the time I came back, all those set of students had graduated. So I just it kind of fell out. But being here in this environment, I saw it fit to bring that back. The idea being, I think I've mentioned this somewhere. We want to see how students can start imbibing sustainability and practicality. What do I mean by that? Basically, we have so much of a material, mud. Yes, the technology may not be may not have been standardized in that way, but where does research start? I remember how back in the university, most of the things we knew, some of us, not all of us, was through active investigation. And that was even before internet. Now they have internet, so there'll be no reason for them not to go places or do things that need doing. So this is just the inaugural contact we had with the students. Out of a class of 30, 40. Just about nine showed up. Yeah. And then the interesting thing was I had quite a number of female students, which was quite impressive, which probably shows where the trajectory of this may go in terms of future design. Well, I can't be conclusive on that. I can't be too conclusive on that. But then that would be something to also think about. Additionally, over yesterday, I was able to get in contact with my students back in Nigeria, and I asked the class representative then when I was teaching that particular class to find out who are interested in joining up this new endeavor, and I got quite a number of responses. I hope to bring them in, introduce them to my students here, and then see how they can collaborate together, on this topic. But this is, I'll just let it go, raw, unedited, just to give an idea for anybody listening or interested, where this thing may take us. So have a nice listen and have a good day. Thank you.
Sandra disappeared. Yes, Kizito. Kizito disappeared. Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Okay, maybe Lucian, you could come in. I think you were able to watch. Did you watch the video? Okay, since that day you are asking the question about what it means. If you one of the slides talked about how it's like a phrase, a term, how it came about. It's very common in most of West Africa, but then surprising, I learned that even in Jamaica they have a term for it. But in Rwanda, what do you call muddy water or muddy soil? Soil that is wet. What do you call it? Okay, could you say it again? Could you say it again? Oh, it's Yondo. It doesn't have. It's not repetitive. It's not repetitive. Like, oh, okay. Because the surprising thing is in West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria. I think a lot of West African countries. I mean, it's almost the same. POTO, poto poto. Okay, so basically, it's an impression that people have of mud. You have the background about this channel. I think I told you when we met. People have a very, I would say, low view, negative view about it. Okay, and I believe that that is one of the reasons. I don't know. How do people view building with mud here in Rwanda? I think maybe I should ask about that. Hmm. Yeah, cheap and dirty. Okay, really? Hmm. But are you sure you're not saying that because you are going to year two in architecture? So you had about something itsy bitsy about mud. Previously, what was your thought about it? Okay, hold it. Kizito, you're back. Hello, Kizito. He's muted himself again. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Kizito. You had a question before you went off. I think we lost you. I had asked a
Um,
question. Well, I had just said something and then I was asking for your views about it. I asked Yuki was saying something about how the material, the mud material, she just said something briefly about it. And then Lucien kind of added something about it, because she watched the video. Did you watch the video, Kizito?
yeah. For the weeks.
No, 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 no. The video that you posted. Anyway, no
Oh,
problem. No problem. We're just beginning. Okay. It's going to be like something we do maybe 30 minutes once a week or twice a week. Okay. So the idea, that's what that led to the question that I asked Yuki. The idea is there's a lot of movement. Okay. There's a lot of movement these days from the so-called modern materials. At a certain point, people stop using local, traditional, old materials, and they started using new materials. But then it has been discovered that some of these new materials have some, would I say, negativity about it. And so increasingly, you've heard me talk about it in class. Increasingly, there's a move now back to the old materials, especially mud. Okay,
yeah.
so um, I asked Lucien the impression that people have about using mud blocks for construction in Rwanda. What is your own take about it? What's your own impression about it? The use of mud as a building
Use
and construction material.
use of mouth
Mm.
in comparison for like in my region
Mm.
when
Where is
they're
that? Where is that?
uh, I'm in South.
South?
Yeah.
I think you may need to maybe move away from your microphone a bit or hold it closer. It's a bit muffled so that we can get you. So are you in the South now?
Yeah, I'm in South.
Oh, then probably the first assignment I'll give you is could you take some pictures of the local buildings, not new buildings, just local buildings, if you can get access to it, local building, and just help us post it on the platform on the group. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
So yeah, you were saying, what is the impression people have about it?
The problem they have body
They have
or
what?
no problem
They
for
don't have a
using
problem
mud.
with it.
Using mud,
Hmm.
they get is a variable, but To dry it is a big problem where there's rain.
Okay, I think
It might,
that will be one of the things we will look at. We will look at going down the line. But I think that the question is, do people use it? Yes. Are you saying the south is more wet than Musanze? Is it wetter than Musanze? You have more rain than
yeah,
Musanze?
yeah.
Really?
People, yeah. Here in the south, we use mud brooks.
Yeah, yeah, I know. But you're saying drying the mud blocks is a problem. That's why I said, are you saying that the south is more wet? It has more rain than Musanze?
No, but sometimes when they're in wet season,
Mm-hmm.
no one can use those brooks because when you try to dry it, it's dry. It takes a long time to get dried, and when the rain is on,
Mm-hmm.
the bricks get damaged.
How long is the rain? How long is the rainy season? How long does it rain?
I think uh like 1 week or 1 day.
Oh, we have somebody. That looks like Grace, right? Is that Grace? Yeah, continue, continue. I saw somebody coming in, but I think the person's having network problems. So
Yeah,
Kizito, I think that is a general problem, even in some parts of like where I come from. You know, we have the rainy season. Like now, it's raining. I'm going to post a
yeah,
picture. There's a small shed I built on my land back in Nigeria. So I
yeah,
built it, but I didn't have enough money to cover it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to leave it until I get money to cover it. But I've been telling my workers, get something like a plastic sheet. Hello, Grace.
Yeah,
Why is everybody hiding his face? Okay, probably you guys are. Hello, morning. So you can appear if you want to. So, Kizito,
yeah, sir.
I was saying, I think you need to stop moving. You're moving around a lot. I can hear the scratching on your microphone. Small building. I had a that I did. It's a store, 2 by 2.
Yeah,
Then somebody called me, I think this week. Part of it had fallen down. That's
yeah,
one of the problems with mud. It may be cheap, it may be affordable, but if you don't get to cover it quickly enough, obviously
yeah,
it gets wet, it loses some of its strength, and then that happens. Okay, is that
yeah,
Grace? Is that Grace coming on? Anyway, yeah. So Sandra, I can see Sandra. Is that Sandra?
yeah.
yes,
Hello, Sandra. Sandra.
yes, it is.
Yes. Did you hear the discussion?
Yeah, about
Did
the
you hear?
rain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're talking about the use of mud.
Yeah,
Where do you come from? What do people think about it? What do people think about the use of mud as a building and construction material for building houses? Basically, for building houses. Yes. What do
I'm
you think about it?
I'm from Kigali,
Mm,
and uh, what do I think about mud building?
mm.
The question again.
What do you think about the use of mud for building houses? Yeah, basically for building houses. Oh no, Lucien mentioned how people don't really they think of it as a material for poor people. You know, it's only poor people who can use it. But then when it's used, it's basically for just maybe not really residential buildings, just places that people can sit out, not actually building. So what is it like in your where you come from? Do people actually
Me,
build with it? What do people think about it? Or think about using it to build?
I think since it's
Mm,
it uses the material which are like available everywhere.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, it's cheap. I mean, with the low cost and
mm-hmm.
think it's sustainable.
What do you mean by
It can
sustainable?
it can be used like for long period of time. Like I have I have so like people have been using it and still
Mhm.
it is being used, and I think in the future too it will still be used.
Are you saying that because you had like a full year in architecture department, or are you saying it because you did some background study, you have a small idea about it? Oh, she's on hold again. I think our network is has a problem. Yes, Grace. That's Grace, right? Hello, Grace. Okay,
Hello.
anybody can come in. Okay, yeah. Hi, Grace.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine.
Are you in Kigali or are you in Dubai?
Kigali.
Why are you laughing?
No, I'm not laughing.
Yuki just came back from Dubai.
Yeah.
Um, Lucien is Lucien is preparing to travel to Dubai.
Okay. The rich guy.
Okay. So, were you able to watch the video? Grace, I'll come back to you. Let me talk to Grace. Sandra. Let me talk to
Yes,
Grace for a bit. Since she just came in. Just hold on. Oh, Grace disappeared again. So yeah, just finish what you were saying, Sandra.
she's here.
Oh, she's here. Okay, Grace. Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was Kizito that is. Did were you able to watch the video that I posted on the group link? Okay. So, what do you think about mud? Mud. Ah, Karen. Karen has joined. Okay, we'll have Karen as soon as we have what we finish with Sandra. Yes, Grace.
Hmm.
What do you know about mud? Mud being
Mm.
used. Well, just what do you know about mud? What is your impression about mud? You know mud, right?
Yeah, normal.
What is it called? What is the name of mud in Rwanda? Eh?
Mud.
Ibyondo. Ni
Ibyo.
ibyondo.
Oh, ibyo.
Ibyondo.
Mud.
Mud. I
Ibyondo.
was thinking mud brick maybe.
No, no, just mud. Because
Just
when it becomes brick, you have it has changed. It becomes important. But as mud, it's not something that people really want to get in contact with, especially if you're wearing white clothes or you're dressed very neatly and you're going somewhere. Okay. Anyway, that is basically if any of you have for those who have watched the video, it's just basically some
mm,
slideshows. Yeah, there's an impression people have about mud. Okay, which due to over a long time, it could be due to its use in language, but then mud doesn't have a very good impression. It doesn't leave a very good impression, and that is why one of the reasons I believe, and that's one of the reasons why. Well, the main reason why I want us to have this discussion. You're just starting architecture. You're year two. You're going to be starting design very, very soon. And what will be your attitude towards using mud as a building material? Because one of the questions we had the presentation for year five, the second set, yesterday, Wednesday, and yesterday. And one of the jurors, people in the panel, kept asking, what material are you
mm.
using for your construction? And then why? Okay, so let me just give us a small impression about what you think mud is as a what mud is one, and then mud as a building material, and then we'll take Karen. So what is mud?
Mud is the wet, soft soil on the earth mixed with water or what? Yes. The
Your
soft
audio is a bit. Could
with
you
water.
speak a bit louder?
Mud is the
Mhm.
soft soil on the earth mixed on maybe with water.
Mm, mm, mm. So would you? Is this something that you would play with?
No.
Oh, you lost. Okay, somebody. Yes. I know you're ladies. Surprisingly, all of you are ladies. Did you play with mud? Any of you? Karen, did you play with mud as a kid?
No, no. Yuki did.
Karen, you
I
didn't
didn't,
have to answer for me.
I didn't ask about Yuki. I said, Karen, did you play with mud growing up when you were a kid?
Yes, she did.
So no, you, not Karen, not Yuki. I said you.
Yeah, a few times.
Ah, Lucien, did you play with mud? No, why do you have to put it on your brother? Grace, did you play with mud when you were growing up?
Yes.
So, well, basically, that's where I'm going. Okay. I'll post another video on the group. I think it's not on its own. I did a small presentation and I had that slot, but I'll repost it on this group. You know, there was something about this material. And one of the important things is it can be used in many, many forms. Maybe the only one that you know it's the bricks, the fired bricks, and then you'd have also the local bricks that you see being made. And like we said, I think it's an agreement, it's a general thing everywhere that people think it's only poor people who use mud bricks. But did you know we had a workshop? I think about 2 or 3 months ago. This French guy came in from French guy from France, obviously. So he said something. I thought I knew quite a lot about mud, about bricks and everything. But then my meeting with him, and then some things he said, I just realized that there's so much that I didn't know. So according to him, okay, about 11 million people in Paris, not France, Paris, the capital of France, live in houses that have something to do with mud, either built with mud or have some kind of mud part of the building. So I'm going to repeat it again. One of the things I want us to do as we discuss this is not just going to be one discussion, it's going to be a lot of discussions. And the reason why I'm bringing the discussion, I'm bringing you guys in. I remember some years back when I was in Nigeria, I called it a mud club, but because of one or two reasons, it couldn't continue. I think then afterwards, I think I left. I traveled for quite some time. I came back, and then the students that I had formed the club with, they graduated. But that's what I am thinking about. Okay, you're in year two now. You may not start. Okay, you're going to start basic design, but maybe not in the manner that you do in year 3, year 4, and year 5. So we want to see more thinking about how you can use mud. Okay, like I said, it comes in many forms. It comes in many forms. You have the bricks that you see. You have the fired bricks. You have the mud bricks. But there are other forms. Okay, so what I'll do is constantly I'll be putting up stuff so that you can look at, and then maybe some exercises that you can do at your free time. This is not a class. It's not something you'll be graded or assessed. Oh, we have somebody new. TVZZ. Who's that? Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Well, it's all ladies. Wow. This is that oh, Tasnim. Tasnim, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yes, you're welcome. So were you able to watch the video? The YouTube?
No, I just woke up.
Tasnim, you woke up at 10:24. Oh, please God. Let's resume tomorrow. Anyway, okay. So welcome to the discussion. We're talking about where do you come from, Tasnim? So let me just ask, where do you come from?
What?
Where do you come from? Where do you come from?
From Sudan.
Okay. So is mud used very widely for building? I think
A
I know the
lot.
answer, but let me just hear from you.
A lot.
A lot. Okay.
Yeah, a lot.
In the villages or in the towns or where?
Um, Actually, it's most popular in more than the cities. They use
Mm,
it a lot there because of the weather, and it's not
mm,
much better.
mm. Okay, I think Tasnim, as I would very quickly relate to that. The weather in her part of the country and some parts of my country are very similar. But basically, that is it. That's where we're going. Okay. Last year when we had our defense with year five, I think it was only one person that his design had features of use of mud. I think it was only one person. This year, not that much. Somebody did a project on a brick processing factory or fired brick. No, no, no. He was moving. The idea was to move away from fire brick, burnt bricks, the one you have there, very popular in Rwanda, to some other forms of use of mud. So basically, that's what this group is about. You're just starting. You'll be starting design very soon, and we want to look at the issue of sustainability. I think was it Grace or Sandra? Sandra, I think Sandra said something about sustainability. I was going to ask you to say something more, and then we'll come back to Tasnim, and then probably no, Karen hasn't said anything. So Karen, and then Tasnim. Um, what do you understand by sustainability, Karen? What do you understand by the word sustainability? Hello, Karen. Oh, probably she. Okay, Tasnim. Hello,
Yes,
hello.
lecture. Yes, yes.
Yes. What do you understand by the word sustainability?
It's the ability for the building or the thing to be stable for a very long time, even if there's some stuff to affect it.
Thing. What do you mean by thing? If you say building, I understand. But when you say thing,
Things like, for example, the materials you are using for that building,
mm,
or uh, as a general in that word, anything had the ability to be stable, even if there are other things affecting it, it's still stable. This is the stability, in my perspective.
mm, okay. Well, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I won't disagree with you about that. This is a discussion, so we're open to ideas. We're open to ideas. Is Karen back? Karen.
Huh? Huh? Yeah.
Yes, I asked the question. I think probably you are. What do you understand by sustainability?
Just the
Or maybe
word.
let me put it this way: sustainability in terms of architecture. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. That's what the whole discussion is about. What do you understand by sustainability?
Um, I think something that's probably eco-friendly that doesn't also compromise on the coming generation. I don't know, something like that.
Something like iPhone,
No,
BMW.
no, eco-friendly that doesn't also compromise on. Wait, somehow renewable in that sense, like doesn't
Hmm,
compromise the coming generation and eco-friendly. It doesn't harm
but
us. It doesn't harm the environment.
okay. But I'm getting this idea that you are saying this as a year two student or someone who has spent 1 year in architecture. So was it something you knew before coming to architecture, or as a result of spending 1 year in architecture, listening to us talk and talk and talk and talk?
I think from English.
No, no, no. It's okay. You see where we're going, right? Where we're going. Some things that I could call it a movement. I am trying to see if I can, not force you to think about this, but anything that would have a value down the road, in the future. It starts like this. It's a discussion. Okay.
Mm,
If we're able to get you guys, and I'm very, very happy that we had only one guy that came, which means you guys are going to be maybe the crop of people. Okay. By the time you get to your three, your 4 and 5, you'll be doing projects that have to do with this issue we're talking about. We want to see that. I told you about, remember, I told you about Francis Carey. Who remembers? Francis Carey. Who remembers? Anybody?
mm,
Okay. So, you know his story. he had a very difficult childhood. His school days were very difficult. But then when he got the opportunity, he used his experience, okay, to be able to build upon what he learned and then go back and apply it. So that is basically what I'm trying to do. All right. Um, I fell in love with mud. I think in my year three, the I don't know. I don't know whether I have a presentation about that on my channel, but I fell in love with mud in year three. And let me just tell you the story. I like telling stories. We were having a presentation. I think it was some kind of design, simple design, um, very much different from the way we design here in Ines. You went through all the stages of the design, the drawings, the background, and everything. So I did a section. I'm sure you have an idea about sections now. And my building was in mud. Okay. And for anybody who knows anything about mud, when you're building with mud, there's a certain level which you can do daily or at a certain time. You can't build a 3 meter wall in one day with mud. Maybe now with technology. Okay. Kizito, you're back. Welcome. So I did a design and I showed the section. So the professor, as he was walking around to check, came around and said, something attracted him. Incidentally, he was the lecturer that was taking us in traditional Nigerian architecture. So he asked me, he said, how do you explain this part? It was a wall, a section of the wall. Wall is straight, isn't it? A wall is straight when you do it in section. It's straight. If a wall is leaning, unless it's part of the design, there's something wrong. So I told him, yes, the wall is like that because I'm using mud as the construction material. And then he looked at me and said, you have arrived. And back then in architecture, if your classmates or anybody, a lecturer, yeah, welcome back, Sandra, and welcome back, Kizito. I think you guys are having a network problem, but no problem. If you had, if your classmate or your professor told you you have arrived, that was like an award. And so that was where I fell in love with traditional Nigerian architecture, which basically we know everywhere in the world. When you have something traditional, it's basically natural materials, and the most available, the most accessible is mud. So I think that was the beginning of my journey into mud architecture. Let me just say this. Maybe I'm talking too much, but then I'll allow you guys to talk. Previously, when I got into architecture, I don't know about you guys, but I think I've said it in class once. Most architecture students, when they come into architecture, they've seen buildings, probably in real life, in very many capital cities. They've watched them in movies, they've seen them in magazines. So they want to build the next fantastic looking building in concrete, in glass, something modern. Zaha Hadid, all those things. But then around that time was when I began to go back. The idea is we're always going forward. But we find ourselves now having to go back to look at the solutions which people in the past used to address some of their problems. So that's what I'll be doing. Okay. I know I've been doing that on the general page, but I'll be doing a lot of posting. Anything I see that has to do with mud, I'll post it on this group. And then maybe ask you to do some background study or just come on this call and then we'll have a discussion. But the idea is I want to just spark your interest. Okay, this is voluntary. This is not a class. This is not an Ines class. Okay, this is just something you want to do. If it's just one person, two people, it's okay. Okay, we can't have everybody doing designs in mud. It doesn't really. It may not be possible. That's not where everybody's interest is going to. So let's see. Kizito, is your network better now?
Yeah.
Hello, Kizito. Yes. So you said you're in the south. You're in the south now.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kizito will help us and take maybe some pictures of some real local buildings. Good pictures, 1 or 2 or 3, a video if possible, because that is one of the things we'll be using to carry on this discussion. Okay, it's not just going to be one day or today and then it doesn't happen again. I want to see if we can just continue this. Have more people. In fact, Lucien, if you observed, I added another name. It's one of my students from Nigeria. I'm going to add more names. Probably you could get to know each other. You know, you'd have started doing some, we call it linkages. You're linking up with other people from other places. You understand how they think. Okay, so I added one person. Yes, I'll add another person. As many as I can get. Yeah, yeah. So pardon? Yes, yes, yes. So it's about getting to 10:40. Um, what time do you think we should have for these discussions? 40, 45 minutes, 1 hour. I know probably when you get back to school, you'll be too busy. So probably the shorter, the better. But the idea is this will be an ongoing discussion. I hope, Lucien, you're recording. I'll record it. I'll put it on the channel. Okay. And how many of you have subscribed? Look, guys, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. Okay. But I'm glad to have you guys. It's very for me. It's encouraging. It's encouraging. I'm hoping that with time, as we go on in your design, as you do your design, you'll be able to tell us this is the material I'm using. Not when, even before anybody asked, because they ask, what's your material? What material are you using for the walls? How are you roofing this? Let's see what you can do. Because this is the start. Okay? There's so much potential for you guys. You're just coming up, you're just coming in. If you can pick an idea, work on it, or start working on it, developing it, I think by the time you get to year 5, we'll see something different. That's what we want to see. Okay. So this is the first meeting. What do you think? How long do you think we should be, discussing this? How frequently? Once a week, once in 2 weeks, once in 3 weeks? Let me just hear your thoughts, all of you. Let's just see. Let's have use Lucien, since you're one of the admins. Lucien. Time and frequency. Pardon? The time? Okay, okay. Mm, mm. Yuki. Oh, Lucien, you want to say something? Fine. Okay. I'll leave that to you. Time frame. And then you could bring topics. Okay. Any of you can bring a topic on mod. Okay. Like I told you, every single day I'm on social media. When I go on Instagram, not to post selfies, once in a while selfies. I see things that have to do with architecture, mod architecture. Okay. So I'll post a lot of that. If you come across anything, because I would want to get you doing things like that. All right. Yes, you can be on social media, but let's be educative. Let it be something that can be of benefit. Okay, let it be something that can be a benefit. You may not see the implication now, but down the road, in fact, there are competitions. Just I think about 2 weeks ago, I came across this competition. It's based in Saudi Arabia. When you hear of Saudi Arabia, what do you think about? Yes, pilgrimage, but then you think of money, amafaranga. The competition was free. It's still ongoing, but I couldn't make it. We couldn't make it. I called a friend. I told him, look, let's apply for this. Let's go into it. Apparently the competition was started, I think 25th of June, and I didn't see it until almost August, 1st or 2nd of August, and the deadline for submission is, I think, 10th of August or 20th of August. So there was barely up to like 2 weeks. But then the grand prize was $120,000 US. And then if you made it to a stage, if your application or your project made it to, I think, the first stage, you get $20,000 still. It's not all about the money. All right. Yes, Karen. Yes, $20,000 US is
Lecturer, is it
Senegal.
possible to register it?
No, there's
Oh,
look, okay. The competition, it had a lot of things. There was a landscaping elements. There was a design of 50 units. There was a design of another 40 units. When was the time? Okay. So when I looked at it, I called a friend of mine. He's an architect in Nigeria. I called another friend. He's an urban developer because it had an urban development component. We just couldn't make it. I had even started. I had downloaded some material. I started making some sketches, but when I looked at it, it wasn't practical. So that's the importance of being on social media, looking out for these kind of things. They come. Sometimes students of architecture, they make it. They start their career even before they finish school. So I would like to encourage you guys. Go online. All right, whether it's I think the most visible for me is Instagram. A lot of things. There are trainings you can apply for. Some trainings are paid for, some are not. But then it's knowledge. One of the jury, the panel that came to look at the five work yesterday, was a guy from Zimbabwe. He practices in Rwanda. But this guy has been like he's got certification in so many things, and he's still studying. Architecture now is changing. I think you know about that. Architecture is changing, and people are saying that AI is creeping in, and to get to a point where architects may be irrelevant. I mean, I think you know about it yourself. You can go to an AI. I don't know which one it is. That has to do with design. Just to tell the AI, put your prompt. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this, and the AI brings it. What do you think is going to happen in the next coming years? But if you're able to create a niche, a specialization for yourself, work on something, you become an expert on that. So even if I wouldn't say takes over, but even if AI is like 50%, 60%, 70%, that 30% you can fit yourself into that 30%. Okay. So sorry, I talk a lot also. Yuki, what do you think the frequency is? Should we have it? How long? Lucien said 1 hour 30 minutes. 9 to 10:30. Yuki, Karen, Grace, Tasnim, Kizito, and then Sandra. Let me just have your take. What do you think about it? Or let's do it this way, since it's getting to almost like 10:15. I need to rush back into school. Lucien, you just do a poll. Okay, do a poll. Find out what is the best time. When? I mean, how frequently is it? Like once a week, once in 2 weeks, once in 3 weeks? Okay, but I'm really happy that I've seen a lot of people, even though it's year two. Sorry, apologies. I keep calling you year one. Apologies. So Lucien, get that, and then we could maybe argue about it. Maybe not argue, but just discuss about it, and let's see how. But I'll see how I can add more people in, my former students from Nigeria, some other people. But I think I like the way it's going so far, and I believe this will be something positive. But does any of you have any problem with it being recorded?
Not
Hello.
really, not really.
Okay. But then you got to put up your best appearance. We can't have a ghost panel. It needs to look legit. So make sure you get your groove on and then appear on video. Okay. Let's make it something formal. All right. So, but if it's 9 o'clock, would Kazim is waking up 10:24. I don't know how many of you are waking up before that time, but I guess because you're on holiday, so you're taking your time to sleep off. Okay.
No, lecturer. I used to wake up by 5 or 6, but
And then go
today,
back.
because of
Okay.
yesterday, I couldn't.
No,
Yesterday
I
was
understand.
too much.
You guys were like really. I was really tired myself yesterday. I felt like a
Yeah,
lot of you.
yesterday was very long day.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Kizito, what time do you wake up? Don't tell me you go to farm. Kizito.
Yes,
Kizito
sir.
probably. Yes. What time
Yes,
do
sir.
you normally wake up in the morning?
Mm, like 7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. What time do you normally wake up in the morning?
7:30.
Hmm. Karen. I hope Karen has some sleep. Grace.
No,
Okay,
no,
Karen.
no.
Pardon? What time do you normally wake up in the morning?
It depends on the day. I don't know how these guys wake up on schedule.
All right, Grace. What time do you normally wake up in the morning?
6.
6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not
Well,
I. It's
Yuki,
not
Yuki, Yuki was still in bed when the call came. She was the first person. So Yuki, what time do you normally wake up?
It also depends on the day. It depends on the day. I don't also have a schedule.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I think I'm going to go and talk to Shemi. Yeah, two wants to come back. They are itching to come back. They want to resume. So let's see what will happen. Lucien, what time do you normally wake up?
Please, no one ask Lucienne. She woke up by 12. Don't ask her.
I should have.
We
Okay.
all know she wakes up at 12.
No, don't
Like
ask
what?
Lucienne.
God,
Okay,
no.
guys. So thank you very much. This
Thank you.
was very interesting. Honestly, it was very interesting. Once Lucien gets some of the details, um, we'll see how we can move forward. And I think what we'll do is we'll add one or two more admins to make it, good, okay for moderating. Okay, I'm not very, good with all this internet things. Yes, I try in some places, but I'm assuming you guys are you're the Gen Z, so you know a lot about this. So I think we'll just call it quits for today. Thank you very much. Please go to the channel, subscribe. Okay,
Okay.
everyone subscribe, and then
Comment,
just pardon.
comment, and like.
No, 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 no.
And
You
please
can't.
don't
You
forget
can't.
the share.
Yes, right now I'm not. I need to monetize it to get some other benefits. Okay, so I'm just posting content, but so far I see there's a bit of interest. But you are my subscribers for now. All right, you're my subscribers for now. I know some of you are subscribed already, but I encourage you to subscribe. I'm going to work on the other details as time goes on. Yeah. So I think thank you very much for your time. When are you resuming? When are you resuming school?
We don't know actually. I think by the beginning of September.
Yeah, I was talking to Victor. He said year one will be resuming on the 7th, and I think once any arm of the department resumes, I think the rest of you will have to come. So just keep that in mind, please, so that you don't it doesn't come as a surprise. Victor said year one. Yes, Grace. Yes, Sandra. School. That is school. And yes, Karen. That is school. That is school. Okay.
We
So thank
didn't
you very
even
much.
enjoy the holiday.
There's no holiday in architecture. There's no holiday. Because even
So
during
what is
holiday,
that?
you're working. No, there's no holiday. That's architecture. Even when you're on holiday, you're working. Okay?
Taslim, you don't want to learn.
Well,
I wanna
Don't
have
want to learn.
fun.
She just wants to sleep.
Kizito, I can see you're on and off. Hopefully, maybe when you're back. Don't forget to take the pictures, Kizito. We need pictures of mud buildings since you're in the south. Is anybody else away from Kigali? Kigali is
Yuki.
anybody away from Kigali? Maybe in the outskirts of
Taslim.
Kigali. Yuki?
Taslim. It's
No,
Taslim.
Tazim. Tazim is here, Musanze. Tazim,
Yeah,
Lucien.
Tasnim is
Yuki is
here.
also there.
Me.
No, Yuki is in
I'm in
Kigali.
Dubai.
I know. So,
But if you
Lucien?
want like pictures from Yagatari, I can take it from
Yes,
you.
please. Let's have pictures, okay?
But
Let's have pictures of
dry
mud buildings.
praise. It's dry praise. So praying. I don't know
And
what will be
lecturer, you
taken.
didn't take us on a vacation until now.
Now
Yes,
that
the trip.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that you forget that trip. You think we forget it?
Hello, hello. Before we start doing another discussion for 1 hour, so let's just log off. We'll log off. Lucienne, I think you can log the call off, and hopefully we'll meet. Hopefully by next week. Okay. So thank you
Okay.
very much. Have a nice day.
You too.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.